I am Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and in today's episode I'll be doing the handover on the Chausson Flash 510, which is a 2016 model. So coming down the driver's side of the vehicle, you've got your locker. That is underneath your seat, and in here you do have your two relays for your table and your bed, which are in there. And you've got a gas tap, isolation tap there as well. To operate these locks, what you need to do is there's a little line, so the lines point at the floor once it is open, and if you point them at the top of the van, put the key in, half a turn and tap, they are locked. Above you've got your two fridge vents and your awning light. And then just behind the wheel, this indicates that you have your wastewater drop. So your wastewater drops here on the big handle, and what you need to do is push it in and pull it out, and it releases the drain underneath there. So you drive over a grid on the way out of your site and dump your waste. And then in here, this is your gas lecker, so LPG, liquid petroleum gas. So again, opens with the round headed key. And in here you fit one 6 kilogram gas bottle. Make sure it is tied in. It's a left hand thread on the bottle. Then you'll need an adjustable spanner or a gas spanner, and just nip that up slightly and then turn on and off at the bottle. So it's clockwise to turn off, anti-clockwise to turn on. Always turn it off when you're on the road, just to be safe. And then in here you do have some storage. So you've got a storage. You can remove these shelves, they're just velcroed on. You've got access from the inside in there, and a small light down here, so should you be getting in and out when it's dark in the garage, getting your objects in and out, you can. And again, them locks lock the same. Then on the back you do have your high level brake light just above the window. This is your bathroom window, and your two bike rack. So you just pull that down. Bike on here, so the wheels, these two the spokes to tie the wheels down on the rails, and first bike and second bike for the crossbars. And then I would advise putting a chain of some sort around your bikes as well. Underneath here is your cassette loo. So your toilet's behind here. This is your cassette toilet. So to operate it, what you need to do is make sure the blade's closed on the inside of the toilet, and then you will be able to lift and slide the cassette out itself. You've got a handle on there, so you can drag it around the site when it's full. And then to empty, take the cap off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally behind or beside your shower and toilet block. Press the button in, tip it out. Once you've tipped it out, there's normally a tap. Put a tad of water in, give it a slosh around, a quick rinse out and tip out again. And then if you fill this with the chemical, so your liquid chemical, cap falls straight in here and it's ready to go. Or you can use the tablet forms of chemical nowadays. So it's a pint of water in and then drop one straight down the toilet, and it will break up into liquid. Coming down the passenger side, you've got your mains connectivity point. So you get your hookup lead, lift the collar, slide it on top of the point there, and slide on. Always hook the vehicle up first and then the point, and do it in reverse when unhooking. And when unhooking, there's just a small blue lever here which you push with your thumb to pull the hookup lead off. This flap indicates fresh water, so to fill up with water, you would open here, put your hose pipe in there until it either overflow or until you're happy you've got enough water on board. You can see on the control panel just beside the habitation door how much water is on board at any one time. And then at the front here, this is your Truma vent cover. So when heating the water on gas, this must come off, and to get it off, all you need to do is push down and peel it off. best place to put this is in the passenger door pocket. This is only needs to come off when heating the water on gas. Should you be heating it on electric, you can keep it on. And then at the door itself you do have the diesel filler. So it's a capless system with it being a Ford Transit. You just push it in and fill it until it fills and it'll click out. Leisure battery is underneath the passenger seat. And then if you want to turn your passenger airbag off for a car seat or anything, you use the key, you can turn that on and off. To get into the bonnet you need to use the key. So with it being a Ford, you put the key in the front, turn it to the left, then turn it to the right to release the bonnet. And in here you do have your various liquids. So you've got your radiator fluid. This is your positive for jump start, so you'd put your lead on there, and you'd put your negative lead, so earth, on the engine hoist down here. And then you have got your weight plate with it being a Chausson. So this number here is your build number, your HOFO number. 3.5 ton. If you were to put a tow bar on, tow anything, you can tow an extra 2 ton behind you. There's your Ford chassis number. Power steering fluid, screen wash and brake fluid. Oil filler just there, and your dipstick is here. And to drain your fresh water off fully, that little cap there is a 15mm plumber's push fit end cap. You just pull it off and the water will drain directly underneath the vehicle. So drive over a grid on the way out of your site, or if you're at home you can just open it up and drain it off. But make sure it is drained along with the waste, all your taps are left open and your shower head is removed. And obviously your boiler is open as well. So now inside the vehicle, you do have your main control panel. So you've got your master switch here, which you can turn on or off. So you can turn it on for 12 volt, or you can turn it on for 240 should you be hooked up, which is indicated like so, otherwise you'll just have 12 volt. Next to it you've got your master switch for all your lights, then they all are individually switched around the vehicle. You've got your pump, which you would have on use any water, so tap, toilet, shower. Awning light on the side of the vehicle. And then these buttons here correspond to the ones on the side. So you've got the one of the trailer, which is your leisure battery reading. And you've got the one of the truck, which is the Ford engine battery. You've got your water. So you've got about 20 litres of water, or 30 litres of water on board there, fresh. And then should any waste be full, this little line will go down here red to indicate the waste is full. And then in the kitchen area you do have 3 gas burners, so you will need a match or a lighter like so to light each individual hob. Allow it to cool before you put the lid down, and you've got this splashback cover there to stop it splashing up against your wall. Cutlery. Big storage drawers there like so. Storage in here. As long as the pump's on, you'll be able to use your tap and then filter the water through. Like so. So just building pressure there, it will get a bit stronger once it's built its pressure up. And then opposite to the kitchen you do have your grill on the top. So to get the grill to work, open the door, got a light there, turn it on, and then you can ignite it as well. Obviously keep it held in for a couple of seconds just to allow the thermocouple to get warm before releasing, like so. Underneath you've got your fridge, so to turn your fridge on and off you've got a button here. You turn your fridge on and off, and then to select the sauce what you need to do is press the square button, press and hold till it starts flashing like so, and then you use it. So there, so as it I've set it on hookup, which is the plug, and the temperature. So if you press and hold again, you can have it on hookup. You can have it on battery, which is designed to keep the temperature the same, so it's just a cool box. It'll get no cooler or no warmer. So you'd cool it down on gas or electric first overnight, put your shopping in. Then when you come to ready to travel, just put on a battery. No matter if you're going half an hour down the road or a fair distance, it should keep your shopping nice and fresh. If not, you can put on a gas. So there's a gas flame. You press enter. Then you can set the temperature, so you can go to 5 bar if you want. Press enter again, and this is setting the temperature on gas to 5 bar. And then you turn on and off here. So to change, press and hold, and then use these arrows to scroll. Once you have finished using the fridge for the season, if you take your remaining of your shopping out the fridge, give it a good clean down with some antibac. Then the last thing you want to do is shut the door, because it forms an airtight seal. But if you just look underneath the catches, you'll see this little brown toggle on both. So there's one on the fridge and one on the freezer box. Slide them out, and then if you just locate them into here like so, ventilation will then get in and out the fridge and stop any mold growing in the fridge. Underneath your fridge in the cupboard area, you have 3 gas taps, one for the fridge, one for the grill, and one for the hob. Should there be any problems with gas, turn the bottle off just to be safe. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced. The gas will get, each appliance will get tested on a gas test. On the bulkhead behind the passenger seats in the rear, next to your kitchen, is your diesel heater. So to turn on, you press the 3 wavy lines which indicates heat. Set the heating to whichever temperature you want. Make sure you've got a quarter of a tank of diesel or more. And then you turn it off here, and then should it get up to temperature, you can then put the fans on just to recirculate that heat should you want. So if I can put the fans on now, you'll get the blue light and the heat is the red light, and off's in the middle. And then if you've got this key slot here, which is for the round key, and this, if you put the key in, this operates the table in the lounge, which I'll come back to. Now in the washroom area, so you've got your tap, and you've got your small switch there, your rocker switch for the lights, and your toiletry cabinet. You've got your wardrobe area, which has got your silver screens in for your front windscreen and side blinds, winding handle, and your aerial. So to operate your aerial, what you need to do is, if you can't get a signal like so, but this indicates it's found a signal as it's green. If it was amber or red, obviously it hasn't found a signal, so then you'd have to loosen it off, push it up, and then you can use this toggle on the bottom to direct the aerial. But a tip with the aerial is to look where the other motorhomes and caravans are pointing on your site, and when you're travelling, it needs to be pulled right into the vehicle and securely tightened. And on the booster itself, you've got a min and a max, so you can boost and weaken the signal should you need it. On this side is your storage, which there's your garage door there, so access from both. You do have a hanging rail, so you can use this as a wardrobe as well if you want to take these shelves out. To operate your toilet, what you need to do is make sure the pump's on. You can press the blue button and fill the bowl with flush. Once you've filled it with flush, you always want to start with it by flushing it. You then open the blade, so you slide it to the right. You then use the toilet with the blade open, and then after you've used the toilet, if you flush again, and then shut the blade, as this lubricates the blade itself and stops it from sticking by flushing it before use. And then on the back you've got a cassette diagram. The wheel will go red once the cassette is full. Toiletry space up here, the towel rail, your window just slides along and slides shut. And then you do have a fly screen and a blackout blind on there. And a pinch to depart. Shower cubicle, obviously make sure the shower screen's tied back when you are driving, stops it clattering about in the back. And then once you've winterized the vehicle, if you take your shower head off and allow your shower hose to lie in the shower tray, as you can see it's got quite a good loop in there at the moment, so any water would get stuck in here. Also make sure all your taps are left open when you're winterizing to stop any water from staying in the lines. And open your flag, got a little ventilation hatch which you can open, and a towel rail which also doubles up really well if you've been caught in the rain. Hang your coats on here. To operate your drop down table, you need to put the key in and then slide it down, and the table will electrically fold into position. Like so. Then if you slide these supports out to support just underneath the table at the end when the bed is being made. And then this is how you make your small double bed up. So you use the backrest off here and here, slide these two slightly forward and use the backrest off the back there. And then if you wanted to use the two travelling seats here, you can remove this board here with cushion for the seat at the end for the passenger to get the feet down. To operate your drop down bed, obviously make sure the table's down first of all. Then use the key, and there's a different key on for this bed. Release the seat belt and then you'll be able to press. Press it once and it will come all the way down to the setting. So that's the first setting, of as if you would have the bottom made up and the ladder would go on. Or you can press it again and it will go down to the bottom setting, which is if you had no one underneath. Obviously you'd have to remove your back cushions for it to go all the way down. And then if you just press, it'll go all to the next setting, and then press again. So just press once, don't press, otherwise you can fail the control panel. And up it goes. So now in the cab of the Chausson Flash 510, which is Ford Transit based, you have your handbrake to the right, which is a fold in handbrake. So you might think it's off like so, it's not. So if you lift it up, push the button in, lift it up a little bit higher and drop it, you'll see the light go off just in your speedo gauge there, and then come on. So to turn it off, you can then hear it ratchet up, and then that's the handbrake on. Electric windows, passenger and driver. This locks and unlocks the cab doors on an evening, so you can lock them. Electric mirror adjustment, front and rear fogs, and then obviously side lights and the main lights, the headlight adjustment which pops out there. Wipers, indicators. See, this goes through your radios, so you've got M, which will go through your memory, so FM, AM, CD, auxiliary, your functions, volume, and then you've got skip in a radio channel there. This will then go through your trip computer in the middle, so you've got trip computer, so you can see your fuel usage, your MPG, your average miles per hour, your miles left in your tank, so your range. Or you can go back and you go into information, it'll tell you if there's any problems with the engine at all, which is not. Settings, obviously you can go into display settings, which is language, mileage, obviously driver assistance, traction control. If you wanted to turn off, you turn off here, and then hill start, but these automatically come back on when you restart the engine. And then you do have cruise control and speed limiter, and it's set cancel, resume here. Turn them on and off. 6-speed manual gearbox with lift the collar for reverse. And then you've got your forward head unit here. So you've got FM or AM radio, so you can press 1 to 9 to save your channels once you've scanned for them. Auxiliary can be a line in, which if you press here, you've got a 3.5mm jack and a 12 volt. Or of course it can be the USB that's on the interface of the head unit. It can be Bluetooth audio if you pair your phone. So to pair your phone, you need to press phone, menu, add a device, OK at the top, and then find forward Bluetooth on your device. Make sure the pins match, and then it might ask you if you want to sync your phone contacts. Press yes, and then it'll sync your phone contacts. And then if you go to auxiliary, obviously you can use Bluetooth audio. Turn on and off at the front here, and that is your volume as well. Further down you do have your fan speed, obviously recirculation button, temperature, AC button, so it's got aircon, and then obviously where you want the air to go to, so face, feet, and then you've got your demist settings at the end. Big glove box there, and big sun visors as well. And obviously to black the windscreen and side windows out, you've got your silver screens and your wardrobe, which are just on suction cups, and you just stick them on in the corners and the bottoms of the thingy. Otherwise you do have a blind as well, so a curtain blind which you can pull around to black it out. To turn your seats on in the evening, what you can do is there's a full bar for back and forth from the driving position, and there's a half bar slightly above it. Turn it round. If it was to get stuck on the door, then you would just pull it forward, and obviously that would recline it into the back. And this concludes the handover video on the Chausson Flash 510. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact Tyne Valley Motorhomes on 01207 272 777, or email our sales team at sales@tynevalleymotorhomes.com.